Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tales of Myth and Mayhem and our little game of Fallout. It never fucking changes. My name is Michelle. I have big hair because it's a million degrees, and I have relocated to a secret, safe bunker in the south of England. Just because I thought it would be more in the vibe of the game. Here we have our players. Hello, players.
Hello.
Hello, GM.
Hello.
We're missing Tim, who has been replaced by our resident the mutant who sits in and says nothing and does nothing, but everybody else is here. So let's summarize where we were. Our players are in the town of Sanctuary. Well, it's sort of safe to say a cul-de-sac that is Sanctuary in the that was once the suburbs of Boston. It is now a bunch of was a bunch of dilapidated houses before the Baconites, led by the robot Kathy Bacon, created a utopia ? Where biological and electronic life live together as one, fighting off the advances of the Institute and the Forge. Our players last night went to meet Kathy Bacon, and she proposed a deal where if our players infiltrate the EMP field around where the Institute live and find a way to tackle the Institute or otherwise screw them up, and also comes back with a bunch of various blueprints and other things, she will make them anything they want in her fabricator. So the players left to ponder this deal and had a quick meeting with a man called Nate, who's basically spent, over the last 3 months to him, has gone from 2077 America to now waking up from cryogenic sleep in Vault 111 and is now sort of Kathy Bacon's pet. So yeah, our players elected to go to bed to ponder all that they have learned, and it is now the morning where Kathy Bacon is expecting a decision, and the radio goes off. The radio does a little buzz, and you hear a voice, the familiar voice of Betsy saying, "Come in. Anyone there? Are you there? Are you still alive?" You then at this point hear, "I think they're dead."
We're not dead. We're not dead. Rushing to the radio, picking up, pressing the button, unmuting myself everywhere.
The thick Boston drawl that I will never attempt to recreate ever again comes through. "Hey, so, what's the latest? We've drank, we're merry, we're ready to fucking go. We've got the bridge at I-95 that we're ready to take. On your say-so."
There's an EMP, and we might have to go and collect something, but guys, help.
Wait, where's the EMP? Also, what is an EMP?
It disables electronic equipment.
Okay, who has that?
That is an excellent question. Seriously though, guys, if you want to step in at any moment, that's fine by me.
All right. I'll send the word around. We'll go and we'll take the I-95 bridge. We should... yeah, if you look at the map, guys, I've just moved it across a bit, so you should be able to see it.
I have too many windows open.
Oh, wait, I need to do the map layer. That's why that's not working. There we go. So see in the bottom right corner there, that's where the I-95 bridge is. All right, so you're saying that there's this EMP thing that will disable our electronic devices?
Pretty much.
If we get near it. All right, that's good to know. All right. Well, in that case, we'll take the I-95 bridge, and what say we meet at Vault-Tec regional offices? And we can go from there.
Carl, what do you think?
That sounds like a good idea. We might be doing a slight detour on the way there due to recent events. Don't want to say anything more over an unsecure channel.
All right, that makes sense. Yeah, we. Well, I don't know how long it's going to take. I-93 has been pretty blocked the last few months, but we got the numbers now. We've got a whole bunch of people from Diamond City, so hopefully we'll see you there at some point. Maintain contact and one thing, Cassie wanted a word. You
Jade,
hear a clunk.
Jade, please, Jade.
As it's clear that Betsy has thrown her walkie-talkie, her radio, at Cassie, you hear Cassie go, "Ah!" She picks it up. "Hey, is Jim there?"
Jim's not available right now.
Okay, give me a charisma speech check.
This is why I wanted someone else to talk to her.
Difficulty 2. No, wait, 3. No, wait. Yeah, no, it is 2. It's 2 because over the radio, this is going to be quite hard. But also, the way you said that wasn't particularly convincing to me.
I'm spinning 5 plates here.
Yep.
I can't even see what the result of that was.
It's the one.
It's 3.
One success.
No. It's
and
not
a
3.
critical fail.
Yeah, okay. It hadn't scrolled down for me yet.
Okay, so you failed and it was worse.
Yeah.
So let me think about this. You hear a beat of silence and then she says, "What happened?"
Seriously, anyone else?
Yeah, I think Jade will just reach out for
out of character, I don't remember.
Cassius.
Was he blown up or shot to pieces?
He was blown up very much. Okay. The only thing left were his feet in his shoes.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at chat. Yeah, so Jake takes the radio and go, Cassius Jade. He isn't coming home with us. I would have told you when we came back. He sacrificed himself for us. I tried to stop him, Cassie. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go up to the radio and say, so yeah, it was bad. We ran into some robots and ultimately like Jay said, he made a sacrifice and we left him there to rest in pieces.
Oh, you did not say that.
Oh, yes, I did.
Oh, God.
There is silence. It goes on for a bit too long. And then you hear, "Okay." Then you hear a clunk, clink. And then you hear someone, it sounds like someone picking up the radio going, "It's John. What did you just say?"
I told her that we left Jim to rest in pieces.
Oh, fuck. All right.
At the end of the day, I guess that's a joke he actually wanted to hear, so...
Okay. Well, thanks for the update. Hopefully see you later, I guess. And he hangs up.
Look, Carl has no speech in Charisma 4.
So, do you think that went well?
Perfect.
Excellent.
just so you know, there will be a complication from that.
Yeah.
You're just not there to see what it is. So yeah, good luck with that. So yeah,
Not my problem.
you are now awkwardly standing in the center of the room of where you have been staying. It is morning. You are in Sanctuary. Kathy Bacon is expecting an answer from you. Nate is expecting to hear from you, as in when he will be able to leave with you. What would you like to do?
Right. We have been asked to head down to Vault 95 for parts, and I figure we should do just that.
Oh, one sec. Did you do you mean that you think Kathy Bacon asked you to go to Vault 95?
Yeah, I thought that was 95. Was it a different vault?
No. Kathy wants you to go to where Kathy said that she wants you to go to the Vault-Tec regional offices.
Yeah, but the Bacon robot wants us to go to Vault 95, right?
No, they don't.
Oh, I
The
thought
plan
it was.
is that they're going to. That basically, she told you that she's going to basically try and find a way to get you through the weakest part of the line, so you can get to the Vault-Tec regional offices and find the missing parts and missing blueprints rather, so she can repair the fabricator in Vault 95 and double her output
Right.
of troops.
That's what it was. Right.
But Vault-Tec regional office and that whole area encompassing basically a big circle around the Commonwealth Institute of Technology is behind an EMP field that her and her troops can't get through, and none of her biological pets have the ability to even begin to traverse the wasteland, the war zone.
There we go. Okay.
So no one's told you to go to Vault 95, but she has said to you that Vault 95 is where she wants a second fabricator to be, so she can double her troop numbers and win the war, essentially.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Well, we should take her up her offer to get us escorted through the weakest part, and then we will go do the things that we need to do.
And we can talk more about it on the way.
Mm-hmm. Once we're those robots have left us.
Can I try to talk to her first?
To Bacon?
It's Jade asking the rest of the group.
I mean, if you want,
Sure.
it's probably a bit of a risk, but if she'll speak to you, I don't have any problem with that.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Right. And before I go, I will look at Augusta and say, like, I know this is a big ask. If I don't make it back, please make sure Olivia is safe too. You don't have to take her in or make friends with her, but please keep her safe. I will explain on the way if I manage to survive. Please just trust me and do this for me if I don't make it.
Jade, my dear chap, you're far more likely to survive this than I am.
Let's hope we both do.
I mean, that'd be the ideal, certainly from my point of view.
So by the sounds of it, you're heading to go and speak to Kathy Bacon.
Yes.
It's very weird calling a robot Kathy, but that's where we're at. So let's just go with it. So you walk through the town. Well, through the cul-de-sac, I should say. You walk down the street. It is very similar to how it's usually been. Robots going around. Humans, ghouls, residents, dressed to the nines as if they were pre-war. You see Nate standing having a cigarette just outside of a place. He nods as you walk past. Carl, you see Rustchain, who is just staring at you, giving you eyes. But you continue walking, unless you say otherwise.
Yeah.
You
Continue walking.
Cool. You make your way to the entrance of Vault 111. Just making sure it is 111. Yeah, it is 111. I keep getting them mixed up. The robot in charge of the platform lift lets you down as soon as you land, as soon as you stand on it, and you make your way through. And occasionally, a robot will just, of various descriptions, will just watch you as you walk by, and you are in front of Kathy Bacon, who again you see essentially a Mr. Handy robot that has been built into the sort of the wall of the vault where the fabricator is. So kind of like, imagine the Queen from Alien, but made out of vault.
Ew.
Is that a picture you could imagine?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and she says,
I haven't seen the aliens, so no.
okay, watch it. It's very good.
I see it. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
I got it.
And she says, good morning, my darlings. Just give me 1 second. You hear it. And she just comes back and says, okay, that's the southern front defended. So yes, if you are coming to say yes, please have my thanks. And also, there is the perfect place I've just located to get you through. Are you interested in taking the deal? 1 sec. Light flash, and you hear another zzz, and then she comes back and just says, okay, that unit's gone. That's all my children gone from that area. That's not good.
I had this whole talk planned in my head 3 hours ago, and now half of it is gone. Before we give you our answer, what did she tell us when we talked to her last, like why she wanted to do this?
Yes, she basically said she wants to make the wasteland better and protect everyone. And also she wants to double her output and make many, many, many more of her children.
Yeah. Miss Bacon, this is in no way an attempt to be rude. I am simply curious. What makes you believe that this approach will have the outcome you expect? That people will be happy with others telling them what to do?
I don't tell anyone what to do. I just know what they want.
How?
Biological life isn't that complicated. You just need to be fed and watered. And occasionally, do a sex thing. I've been reading about sex things. Very fascinating. But if you have all of those things, and also if you have a very, very nice haircut, those are the things biological life enjoy. And also, simple mathematics. If I double my output and create double the amount of children, that means my army will have twice as many soldiers, which means I am twice more likely to beat everyone who is trying to kill you right now.
The thing is that even though humans and other biological beings, is that the word?
Yes, biological life.
Contra-
Squishy, gross, smell weird, juicy.
Exactly. Not if they're ghouls, but okay. Squishy, yes. They are more complex than they might seem, even though they have a certain similarity to plants. If they are watered and fed, they will survive and grow, but not necessarily thrive, I'm afraid.
But you don't see all of these people in my kingdom, well, I guess my sanctuary, I should say, thriving?
Surviving.
But Sequisha, she had a thing called a barbecue the other day. It just seemed to be a bunch of biological people cooking outside. But they seem to have a whale of a time. Let me ask you this. Do you have barbecues where you come from?
We had before the war, I suppose.
Well, as we ascertained last time, you came all the way up here from your place looking for something. I can make it for you. And I could also make anything you desire.
You see, the thing is, you can't make peace or love. People have to decide for themselves.
Why would they pick anything else? What are the options? Scrabbling around in the dirt, looking for things to eat? Constant fighting and bickering and destruction?
That's
Robots
just
being
the
owned by
thing, that's
people
human
and
nature.
abused?
That's just the thing. No one likes that. To be told what to do. They want to make their own way, and
Yes.
humans are...
Agency, all of that stuff. She can't do this, but you'd imagine that when she said agency, if she had fingers and hands, she would have done this around agency. But look at what agency has got biological life. This area didn't always look like this. I know. I accessed all of this vault's data. I know what the world looked like before. And I know that what got it there was biological life. I clearly know better.
I lived in that time. I saw it with my own eyes.
Well, enough of the philosophical debates. You must choose. If you don't want to help me, that's fine. I will let you go. You can be on your merry way. But good luck getting through the war zone without my help.
We will help you. And I understand your reasoning for wanting peace. I will tell you, though, it's not a threat, it's an information learned by way too many years of being in this world. Your human underlings, people might rebel against you at some point. Because
we had one of those. I just told them to leave. Ungrateful little shits. Thank you for your advice and wisdom, mutant. But I think, as you've seen, I've been quite successful in what I've been trying to do. Now, let's get down to business. At that point, a screen to the right of you shines up and shows you a map of the area. And if you look on Roll20 players, you'll be able to see the map. Now, the weakest part of the line is southeast of O'Malley and here. From what I can gather, it's mostly just the odd sentry bot, the odd Brotherhood of Steel thing, and mostly Protectron devils in that area. The line is very thin. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch a series of nuclear strikes on that area. And as they are distracted, you are going to run through. Now, to avoid you accidentally stepping into a bomb zone, I am going to have to accompany you. I could accompany you via one of your Pip Boys, or I could take over control of your Miss Nanny that you have there. And I will be able to alert you of where the bombs are incoming. So if you happen to be standing on the wrong place, I can tell you to get a move on. At that point, you should be able to make it to the highway, if you see here. And if you follow that round, it'll get you, hopefully, to the Vault-Tec regional offices here. Along that highway, you will step through the EMP, and at that point, I will have to leave you. As you'll have to leave behind whatever device you have let me hack into. What do you think? Well, it doesn't really matter what you have to think, even though you aren't really saying anything. It's the only place we've got. So, if you're cool with running through that.
I don't really see how we have much of a choice.
Well, you can say no and be on your merry way.
Sorry, I've been quiet because I thought Jade was the only one there.
I got the impression we were all walking up there.
Okay, I've misunderstood. I was just
yeah, you're there.
Popcorn. Okay, it sounds like we're doing this.
All right, well, you better get moving. Go to the main gate. We'll all go, and I'll have you some transportation.
Okay, everyone, ready?
Let's move out.
Okay, you exit the vault. You walk down. There's a bit of a flurry of activity as a couple of sentry bots, very, very shiny, brand new baby sentry bots, come along carrying the bus you traveled in on. Oh, we've just lost people. Have we? No, I haven't lost anyone. Okay. They dump that down at the entrance, and at that point, Nate approaches and says, Okay. Before you get on the bus, Isaiah walks up to you and says, I'm going to head down to I-93. Someone I want to meet may be there. If that's where the Diamond City people are going, that's where I'm going. Good luck with whatever the hell this is. And he wanders off.
Thank you, Isaiah. Kind of shouting after him.
As he walks away, he doesn't look back. He just raises his hand like this and just keeps walking. Isaiah is the coolest guy in the world. So you get on the bus with Nate, and you start going down the road past Red Rocket 69. You go past the town of Concord that was once a settlement. It is now... No, wait, Concord is still a settlement. It's another settlement that is just like Sanctuary, but a lot bigger. And you end up just at O'Malley. Or just outside of O'Malley. Now, this is going to take some explaining. You approach the line. To your left and right, in the distance, you can see vast armies of robots just crunching into each other. You hear explosions in the distance as various airdrops on the Forge side are pounding down. Occasionally, one of the drop ships gets shot out the sky and barrels down into the ground. And that is loud. That is my phone. Apologies. That is now silent. Okay. But that is maybe a couple of miles away on each side. You see in front of you a very, very, very thin line of Forge troops. Now, this isn't zones like in the classic sense you should be able to see now. This is... Oh, yeah, that's about right. Each of those red devil circles is actually a unit of troops. There's about 4 or 5 robots in each that you can see. You are there. So this is a pretty large space, a very large field of battle. Okay? Now, at that point, oh, that needs to be there. You exit the bus, and there's a big boulder that you all stand behind, and Kathy says, all right, we need to go. And she thinks for a second. We need to go southeast. The battlefield, the field that you see has many different obstacles on it. With the map you can see, you can travel where there are lines connecting the squares or the zones. You cannot travel where there is no line unless you pass a particularly difficult roll. Your goal is to get to the line at the top, here. At that point, Kathy says, so, we're ready to go?
Yep.
Is this where we get through the EMP, or is this something else?
This is going through the line. So you are basically where, just to the southeast of the town of O'Malley. Your goal is to get to the freeway, which is an elevated freeway. that will hopefully lead you away from any Institute troops that happen to be around and through the EMP. So this is about getting through to the road to the EMP.
If I can just pause the action for a second, I think
Yeah?
Augusta would know how to make a Faraday cage, which would protect electronic items in the event of an EMP. So, like with a trash can with a snug fitting lid, insulating material inside, anything inside that's not touching the outside should be safe.
All right, that seems like a roll. Let's see what roll that should be.
So, just thinking if I could find the materials for that, either broken robot bits or an actual trash can, just some kind of metal container that is completely sealable that I can put insulation around inside.
Okay, first off, this is going to be an intelligence science roll.
Okay.
It's going to be a difficulty of 2 because Faraday cages aren't that complicated. But it's about knowing what items you need to make it.
And I got
You're not
2
having a
successes.
good day, are you?
I'm not having a good day. It's 2 successes, but also a crit failure.
Okay. You know exactly the materials you need and what they are made from. However, when it comes to scavenging these materials, you have got it fixed that you need a particular kind of aluminium. You don't need a particular kind of aluminium. You don't need that. But you believe you do, which means that scavenging to make this Faraday cage is going to be 1 difficulty harder than it would have been. Because you're wrong about something. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Entirely fair based on that roll.
Okay.
And what do we roll for the scavenging?
This will be, I think in this case, it'll either be intelligent science or, perception science or perception survival. Because you're trying to seek out scientific implements.
Oh, hold the phone. I think I've done okay with that one.
Yeah, 3 successes, so I think she's found it.
And I've won.
Yeah. At that point, you spot in the corner of your eye a trash can and lid that is perfect. Too perfect. What is it doing here?
It's snug. It's perfect. This can be sealed. I don't even have to hammer it.
Okay. So now I'm assuming you have a garbage can strapped to your back.
I think that's going to be the plan. So, and all the electrical items we want to survive the EMP when we get to it will be inside the garbage can, but not touching the edges. And when we walk through, they will be protected. We can't take them out while we're under the EMP, but when we get to the other side, they'll still work.
Okay. So at that point, your little Miss Nanny, or Augusta, which has now been taken over by Kathy Bacon, turns to you and says, "Are you quite done messing around with that garbage can? Are you ready to go?"
You know what this is. I realised that went out on stream and didn't go to the people I'm playing with. You know what this is, Kathy. This is going to mean that we can keep the electronics working when we get past the EMP.
Well, we'll see. All right, I'll start the bombardment. At that point, you don't hear her tell anyone. She just sends a signal, and suddenly, she yells out, "Okay, avoid there, and there." Sorry? What was that, Cat?
I don't like this. I don't like this.
That was a bit like the end of War Games.
Okay, so how this is going to go is that you can move 1 square each turn, 1 space, as long as there is a connecting line. And so can these units of robots. We're going to go around 1 at a time. Everyone moves 1. The bombs land. The robots move. Repeat. If you land on the same spot as the robots, there will be a combat starting in that square. If you land on a spot where the bombs are going to drop and you stay there, you are going to get hit by a bomb. Kathy has not been too open about what kind of bomb this is or where it's coming from.
She's only said that she's going to nuke this area, so...
Yeah. So, yeah. We'll start. If players... You should be able to move your tokens. So if you can move them one and stuff, it all... Like, you can all go together, or you can all split up. It's whatever you want to do. Augusta, for the purposes of this, Kathy, your Little Miss Nanny, as in Kathy Bacon, is sticking with you.
But we'll be shouting at everyone regardless, right?
Yeah.
Got you.
Or communicating via pit boys, or otherwise communicating to people on where the bombs will land. Carl, for the purpose of this, Sniff is with you, just sticking very close. Nate's going to do his own thing.
So for the people watching on stream, Carl and Nate have moved in one direction, and Jade and Augusta have moved in the opposite direction.
Yep, so neither of you have managed to head north, well, to the top of the screen yet. So, yeah, you basically, you need to get to the middle top square. That is where your target is. So, okay, at that point, devils are going to move around. Now, at that point, oh wait, one didn't move. At that point, the ground rumbles. You see 3 mini mushroom clouds come out of the dirt and fling dirt everywhere. Some of it even lands on you where you are, even though you are quite a way away.
We are so dead from radiation.
So yeah, at that point, new bombing targets are established. Make your move.
Boof.
And the devils are going to make their move. Okay. Boom, crash. Another 3 mushroom clouds appear. And at that point, this unit are done. They have been vaporized. So now the next targets. Boop. Boop. And boop. Oh, yeah. I should make this a bit smaller so you can see where they're going to go. I thought the big dramatic X would be very dramatic, but it's not workable with these things. Okay. People make their move if they haven't already.
I don't like that.
Jade, please don't stay there.
I know. I really don't like leaving you there, but I really don't like how it's looking in that corner either.
Okay. The devils are going to make their move. Boom. Nukes. Augusta, you seem to have been caught between 2 of them. You aren't liking this. At that, Augusta, I'd like you to do a test based around your resolve. Let's see how good you are at keeping your shit together. I think this is going to be an endurance. God, I don't want it to be survival. It's always survival. Oh, here we go.
You can always flip it round and do endurance explosives.
You know what? Fair. Let's do that. Endurance explosives.
I haven't
Because this
actually
is
looked
about,
to see if that's a good role for her or not.
because the logic being, if you can endure explosions
Yeah.
psychologically.
This is the kind of nonsense I'm pulling over from another game.
All right. So yeah, we're going to say this is going to be a difficulty of 2.
That did not go well. I might.
Augusta, you are frozen with fear.
Yeah.
You will not be able to move next turn.
Oh shit.
Okay, so yeah, explosions go off. Now it's time for the new ones. Make your move, except you, Augusta. You're stuck.
Well, I guess I'm going up here.
So at this point, audience, our players are now halfway through this thing that you cannot see. Apologies for that. No way I could get this set up so you could see this in my current location. But yeah, they are surrounded by devils and explosions, and it's not looking great. So, okay, devils are going to make their move. Oh, dear.
Well,
All right, so Carl and Nate. Okay, so let's do the explosion first. This devil unit is dead. Now, Augusta and Jade, you are not in combat. Carl and Nate are, so let's do this. Just going to move this to the south a bit so we can come back to that once this has been resolved one way or the other. Now, this isn't going to be a full combat. Do not panic.
yeah.
But it isn't going to be necessarily easy. Okay, with this, how this is going to work is yeah, you need to go. Essentially, you need to get to. You need to get to the empty space. That is how you get out of how you effectively run away. Okay? Does that make
Yep.
sense? You
Yep.
can sprint and do 2, but there's going to be at least 2 turns here of you being screwed with. And you're not alone, Carl. You are with Nate. So as this unit approaches, you see 2 protectrons that are devil horns. You don't notice that they are particularly anything more than just a couple of protectrons that have had devil horns stapled to them. But of concern is the Assaultron Gorgon that is to your north that has spotted you. So we don't need a turn order for this. We just need you to go, Carl, with what you're going to do.
Oof. Well, I'm in close combat, so no shooting. I guess I'm stabbing that devil with an arrow.
Awesome. I want to make clear, like, you don't have to kill these 3. You can peg it. That is an option, but you hit. You absolutely hit.
Yeah. Yay, 2 successes.
Yeah, roll for damage.
There we go. 5 damage.
All right.
And I bank one of those action points because I believe we are low.
Yeah. Cool. So you stab it in the head. It stops for a second, goes, zzz, but it's still standing. You can move. That is a thing you can do. At this point, you've still got a minor action, which means you can move.
Well,
You can also spend action points to move additional squares if you want. I'll just do Nate's action. Blah, 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 blah.
How many action points do we actually have right now?
At this point, I don't know because that's not on the notes that I have with me. Augusta / Lavaita honesty system.
I think it's 7. So we may have just gone up to 8.
That's right.
But what did you have us down for?
7 is your maximum at the moment.
Well, I think
because
yeah, because we had the bonus thing happening. I think
Yeah.
it's 7. I think we're at 7.
so you can
Okay,
spend
well,
that extra
Jade,
dice
what-
to do more damage if you want.
Jade, what have you got?
I'm going to spend
7.
to give an extra square then.
Oh yeah, do that. Go for it. Okay. At that point, Nate just says, "What the?" and then punches the Protectron devil. That temporarily almost knocks it off its feet and then pegs it as fast as he can. So now it is the Protectrons. It's all of their turns. Let's see what they do. Ba, ba, ba. Five. So that means 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the Assaultron. Ba, 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 ba. Damn. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wait, no, it becomes 3. There we go. Okay. Carl, the Protectron devil that you in the area where you walked into, comes at you and just claws at you, and you take 2 physical damage to your torso. Behind you, you hear Nate scream as he gets variously fucked up by the Assaultron Gorgon and the devil that is the devil Protectron that you've left behind to deal with. So it's your go.
I will run past this devil and into the empty square.
All right, you've made it away. You have got away from them. You have left Nate to deal with whatever the hell that is. I will resolve that elsewhere. Let's get back to where we were before. Map. Ba, 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 ba. Da, 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 da. That's not quite right. Let me work this out. Oh, wait. I know what I did wrong. I need to move that across to there. And God, this is a lot harder with one screen.
There we go.
Yeah. So, Carl, at that point, you have essentially ran to the left. This is after the nuke has gone off. I'm going to work. I'm making notes and working out rads and stuff. Eventually, Nate joins you, but he is very badly injured. That is a dead devil, so we'll just hide that there. All right, so now, new round, new set of bombs. Da, da, da. Da-da-da. Oh shit, August! I moved that before I knew you were moving there. I promise. That wasn't me trying to be a dick on purpose. Okay, now everyone move. Everyone do your thing.
This time I'm staying still because I want to.
Good plan.
Yep.
Good plan. All right, at that point. Okay, boom. This particular unit is now gone. So at this point, there are 4 active units on the map running around, unsure of what to do. No one's in combat, so yeah, let's do some new bomb locations. Blah, 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 da, 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 da. And okay, people move.
I will not move.
Fair enough. Jade, are you moving?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I have to
It's
help
fine,
Augusta
Jade. It's
out up
dead.
here.
This one's dead.
All right. Boom. This unit has been destroyed. Now, new random bombing things. Oh, shit. Okay. That worked out pretty well. And... okay. Nate runs that way. Okay. Robots spot you and run after you. Boom. Okay, I think at that point, yeah. No, wait, let's do one more. Yeah. Okay, move your... I'm going to do the bombs one more time, but this is going to be pretty unlikely to hit anything, I think. All right, Carl, have you moved?
Yes.
Jade has moved. Predictably, the devil's going to move into your spot. Jade, Augusta, you've made it to the entryway. You look behind you and you see Carl and Nate are being approached by a squad.
Can we shoot from here?
It's a little bit too far.
Okay.
This is you pegging it. If you spend an action point each, I will let you run back.
Jade, we really can't leave them. I'm doing it.
Yeah. Did you use action points before?
Carl used 1. So we're down to 4 if we both use 1 now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, map level.
The weapons.
I'm going to get rid of these tokens. Oh no, not Jade. We need Jade. That. This is so hard with one screen. Oh, I don't know how one screen people do it.
It's like trying to wallpaper a hallway through the letterbox.
That is exactly what it is. Okay, map. There's the map I want. Okay, same deal as before. You need to get to the top right square. And this is going to be basically you escaping the front lines. Oh, crap. That's a thing for the cats, but I've already done it, so I don't need to worry about that. Okay. So what you see ahead of you is You see 2 Protectron devils, and you also see a Brotherhood, or former, I should say, Brotherhood of Steel, who has been vesseled, shall we say, adapted, changed, made better. There's an argument for it. But this is somebody who was in the Brotherhood of Steel. You don't know what sex they were, what gender they were, any of that, or anything about them, because the head has been replaced with a Securitron head with a big laser sticking out of it. It spots you, and so it's your go. Do what you want to do.
Are we doing initiative order? So it's Carl, yeah.
Well, since there's a devil in the square for us, just running there won't help. So let's get rid of devil number 5. I'm going to shoot it from here.
Excellent.
Hold on. Things are being slow because it's roll 20.
Yeah, you needed 1 success, and that's just sarcastically taking the piss that you got 3. That's just sarcastic. You can bank it or you can use it for extra damage, but yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah, let's see.
Go extra damage.
Yes, and I have some extra damage from perks also, so here we go.
I will say, as a little bit of a tip, Protectrons are not that tough. This is like, they're not great, and you're pretty powerful at this point.
Yeah, I do 9 damage, piercing 8 points of armor, so...
Yeah, it's dead. You've decapitated it. If the force of the arrow makes it look like it's kind of exploded, but technically it didn't explode, it just fell to bits.
Nice.
You got lucky with this square. If the other ones had survived, like, you would have been, you got. That's what I'm going to say. I'll tell you after, but you got lucky with this square. But yeah, so if you're going to make a move, Nate is going to also make a move, and he's going to do he's going to fire his 10mm pistol at the thing while screaming, "What the fuck is that?" He hits. I'm going to use that extra dice of damage. Five. He has a Pip Boy, so we can choose. Okay. Nate takes out his 10mm pistol while swearing and screaming and being quite terrified. He manages a headshot and takes a big chunk of the steel plating off the Securitron head, exposing some circuitry. Jade, would you like to make a move? Are you just moved?
I moved.
Okay, are you going to fire a weapon or do anything else, or is that your turn? If you don't fire a weapon, you can move another space.
Yeah, no.
Okay, you're going to stay with your people. Cool. Augusta?
I'm going to fire a round from my assault rifle.
Do it. What are you going to fire
Just a burst. I'm going to fire at... Let me rearrange my map screen so I can see the map, because... Again, wallpapering through the letterbox. Oh. Okay, I am there. Going to move over here and shoot at the Boss Paladin Zapper 1.
All right. You've got a Pip Boy, so where are you aiming for?
Aiming for the center mass upper,
So-
like towards the head if I can, but like mainly center mass, just like.
You've got essentially you can choose between head or torso.
Okay, head.
Okay. That's a hit, and you get an extra dice you can use to add to damage or save as a point, action point,
might-
whatever.
Action point that one.
Okay, so you're up to 5 action points.
I've forgotten how I do damage. It's not giving me the.
If you roll the on your sheet, there
Yeah.
should be next to the weapon, like the head, the Vault Boy head. If you click that, that'll do it.
Just a little guy.
Ooh.
That's 9 physical damage and a burst.
Okay. There's nobody else in the square, so burst doesn't have any effect.
Okay,
But
probably a relief to be honest.
5, 7, 8, 9. You unleash a hail of gunfire and you remove what little steel plating there was left from the head, and you have fully exposed the CPU core and various wires and circuitry. It is now open to the elements. What you assume was a human person at some point, with now a horrible horror, steps back and lets out a wah! That sounded less funny than that. I was going for something more horror movie-esque, but we'll just leave that there. Okay, so now it's their turn. Anyone is free to give me a perception science check. And you can't spend action points, and I'm not going to tell you a target.
Well, let's do a perception science. Let's see what happens. Well, Augusta succeeds really well, and Carl fails miserably.
And Jade, I forgot this, now has physical fallout dice.
So let's see, science, that's attack. So 2 successes.
Okay. Vincent, I'm going to ask you to roleplay this unless someone otherwise tells you. Augusta and Jade, you notice that the devil has activated its self-destruct protocol.
Oh, fuck.
Carl, you don't notice anything. You're too busy eyeing up places, eyeing up a way to get an arrow through that paladin zapper's head.
Perfect.
Carl,
and
don't go
the
over there just yet.
At that point, the paladin zapper is going to do... Yeah. That is a hit. I will take the extra damage dice. Okay, now I'm going to do a roll to see which one of you it hits. Gusto. Jade, you just got hit with 9 points of energy damage from the zapper's head. It's got piercing. So that pierces 1, 2, 3 points of armor, and that has hit you in the 4. Which one's 4? In the torso. That is an
Torso.
injury unless your armor reduces that to lower than 5.
I only have 1 kind of armor, so
That is, yeah, essentially you get full whack 9 damage and you have an injury in your torso. And it's now your go. I'm just doing this players then enemies for this just to speed things up, so you can go in any order. So yeah, Whoever wants to go, just go. Do your thing. Who wants to go? I'm gonna say Carl. You go.
Yep. I'll shoot what remains of the paladin in the processor, I guess.
Okay, go for it. You need 1 to hit.
There we go.
Okay. The complication is the string of your bow has snapped.
Oh shit.
You will have to do a repair check before you can use this bow again.
All right. Well,
You have spare strings. You are very like that kind of thing. It's a string. You will have that on you, I'm sure. But
Oh, yeah.
you do hit, and you do a fuck ton of damage.
8
Yeah.
damage with 8 piercing. So,
How much is that?
does it have any armors to reduce?
Oh, so it's 8. 1, 2. Where there was a jaw, it no longer has one. It wasn't really a jaw per se, it's a Securitron head, but where there would be a jaw if it was a human, that part of it is gone. You hear it bleep, you hear it moan, you see smoke coming out of it, but it is still active, but not by a lot. I'm going to say, Jade, do you want to go?
I have taken a stim pack to take off the injury.
Okay, I believe that was a minor. That's going to be a treat injury thing, right? That's an action. Let me just look that up. Combat. Okay. Damage effects, actions. Okay.
Is Devil 6 out because it's obstructed, by the way?
No. Devil 6 is going to destruct on its next turn, maybe.
Okay.
Which is going to be shortly. Yeah, Jade, to do what you want to do is a first aid action. You need to make an intelligence medicine test. The difficulty is equal to the number of injuries the player has, but it's +1 to the difficulty because you're trying to treat yourself. Oh, then that is
But
take chem action, which you don't need to do. So yeah, you just heal 4 hit points. Your injury is not stabilized, though.
No, I take away the injury. I take away the injury.
That's not necessary. That's not how it works in combat. For you to you can treat the injury, which means that you won't suffer any consequences from it. But that is a major action, and that's going to require an intelligence medicine test, which you are going to have. It's a 2 difficulty because you're treating yourself. And you were using the stim pack with it means that you will recover 4 hit points. So you're doing a test to see if you treat the injury. You're going to get 4 hit points back regardless. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's just the effect says heals 4 HP or heals an injury.
Oh, okay. Well, screw it then. In that case, you can pick and choose, and let's say the injury's treated. Oh, wait, but that might be referring to the fact that it is the treat an injury. It's the treat an injury action. Now, do the medicine test. Intelligence medicine. Yeah. Because you're in the middle of a battlefield. This is quite a high-stakes environment. This isn't like a clinical setting. You're doing battlefield medicine, so a test feels appropriate.
I mean, the stim pack is just jab a needle, isn't it? But let's see. Because I can't find the handbook right now.
Let me have a look at the book. If you do the medicine intelligence thing while I look in the book, maybe you're right and we can disregard it. But you're probably right. Stim.
Yikes.
Okay, what did you get?
Nothing, so I will...
Looking in the
Take-
book, the book makes a big deal about healing actions in combat. You can... Treating an injury always requires an intelligence medicine roll in combat. If you were using a stim pack outside of combat, that would be a different story. Does that make sense? So you heal 4 hit points, but your injury is not stabilized.
Come on.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, but 1 action points let me re-roll a dice, right?
Yeah, go for it, yeah.
And I have the lab code, which let me re-roll 1 more. So... So that's 2 successes.
You stabilize your injury and you heal 4 hit points. But that is your action. You can move.
Yep. Nope.
Okay, I'm just going to do... Nate, still kind of in a state of panic, is just shooting wildly. And he hits, but he drops his pistol because he's so freaked out. Yeah, he hits the Brother to Steel Paladin Zapper in the head, removes more circuitry. At this point, the Brother to Steel Zapper Paladin thing is quivering. Half his head is gone. His arms are just flailing around, and you just hear like an inhuman scream, like if a machine was crying. And at that point, it is the... it is their turn. I'm just going to do the stuff. Oh, wait, he needs to roll a hit first. Okay. And who's it going to hit? Okay, Carl, you get shot with a laser rifle. You take 3 piercing, 1 damage.
In what body part?
Good
Right
point.
on.
Oh, no, that was to work out
Right
who
on.
got hit. This is
Okay.
right arm.
Left arm.
Left arm.
No, I don't
Okay.
take damage there.
Left arm.
Great. So that does nothing to you. Meanwhile, the Protectron approaches you and self-destructs.
Ouch.
Fuck.
It hits everyone. Everyone takes 5 physical damage as shards of metal.
Does this count
Everyone-
as highest or lowest armor?
Sorry?
Does this count as highest or lowest armor?
I'm just going to roll to see where that actually hits everyone.
Okay.
Oh, that's not good.
No. Oh, you did not.
I did a little. I did a bit. It happened. Everyone got hit in the head. For 5 physical points. If you have armor in your head, you avoid an injury. If you don't, you get a head injury.
I have a head injury.
Okay, we'll look up the specific of the head injuries afterwards. Yep, Nate's also got a head injury. He is fucked up. He is not doing well at all.
Should we
Yeah.
also let leave Nate to rest in pieces.
Well, Nate might have something to say about that. But yeah, it's your go, everyone.
All right. We should all be able to spend an action point and do an extra move to get into the gold square and be done.
You can do an extra move if you don't take any action. So you could all peg it to the exit now.
All right. Well,
I vote peg it.
Yeah, Nate doesn't need to hear that twice. He hobbles along, piece of shrapnel in his head.
Normal, when you get an injury is 5, right?
Yeah.
Then I don't get one because I had adamantium skeleton, so I need 6 to.
In that case, you don't have any injuries. For that, I'll give you your stim pack back. You didn't use it. So, okay. So the only person with an injury, only people with injuries at this point. Augusta, do you have an injury in your head? Did you have any?
I wasn't ready to talk, so I had to unmute everything. I had a helmet, so I've taken 4 to the head.
Great. So the people who have head injuries at this point is Carl and Nate. But assuming everyone pegs it, that's it. That's the end of that. You run past the quivering, almost dead Zapper. As he runs past, Nate kicks it and says, "What the hell?" and keeps running, and it falls on its back, and it's scrambling and can't get up. You peg it and make it to the on-ramp onto the freeway, and you look behind you as more nukes drop. Boom, boom, boom. The little Miss Nanny that has been accompanying you turns to you and says, "There we go. That was easy." And you make your way up to the top of the on-ramp, and you are on the freeway. You are a good 30 feet elevated above the ground. I'm going to get the map for you so we can work all this out. So I can point out where you are. That can go away. This can come back. Okay, so you have basically made it onto this thing here. You see that on the map? Now, this three-way is pretty high up. It should protect you from being attacked by ground forces if there are any stumbling around in the area. You are, however, fairly exposed, though. So if you want, you can try and... everyone can do like a stealth check to see if they can, successfully hide under the guard, hide behind the guardrail, so you're not as easily seen from the ground. Otherwise, the direction of travel is clear. You need to head southeast towards the EMP field. So what would you like to do?
Jade, what are you rolling?
Yikes.
I think a stealth check.
Just a second. Roll 20 tab crashed.
I'm just going to tidy up a bit. I've got...
Has your camera vanished for everyone, or is that just something I've done by mistake?
Whose camera?
Catherine seems to be gone.
Yeah.
I don't see her on the overlay either.
I can see her on OBS on I can see her on the... I don't know if she... I'll fix it. Sorry, ignore me for a second.
God, I got so many old maps. I'm just going to tidy up a bit because it's all a bit untidy everywhere. Now it's tidy. There we go. This one, I just need everyone. I need everyone to tell me how many successes they get on an agility stealth roll.
A stealth roll. Okay.
Oh, sneak. It's sneak and Fallout.
None.
Okay, so that's 4 for Carl, 0 for Jade, which makes sense because Jade is a mutant, and 2 for Augusta. Okay. You make your way along the freeway as best you can, doing what you can to make sure you are not seen from the ground. You walk for about 30 minutes, and at this point, I'm going to need everyone to do a perception survival check. This is a difficulty of 2.
I only got 1, and I got a complication.
Okay.
I also only got 1.
Carl, have you done one?
Sorry, what? Done which thing?
Survival perception check.
No, sorry.
It's all good.
Survival perception. There's survival. Roll. There we go. 1 success.
Jay, did you say you had 2?
Now 1 and a complication.
Okay. Cool. I just need to do some changing around. Okay, what you were seeing before you, it looks like chaos. On the left and the right, those are 2 lanes or 2 roads, elevated roads. You are all walking up the left one here. So you see, like, the one on the left would be going one direction and the one on the right would be going another, and they've got 2 lanes. So yeah, you're walking along in each lane, chatting and stuff, doing your thing. Or suddenly, seemingly out of nowhere, out of what was used to be pre-war cars and other various detritus, steps out a number of figures in vault suits with the number 75 emblazoned on them. These have gone through the process, the same as the Brotherhood of Steel members you have met. Stepping forward is someone you may have seen, you may remember from before. And he just says, "Where's Freddy?" Standing before you is Mikey J in a Vault 75 Vault suit. The guy who was the gardener of Quincy, who came along with you for a while. He has shining red eyes and circuitry coming out of his head, sort of mixed in with his hair. And then stepping forward on the other side is someone, Augusta, you recognize very well. The overseer says, "Hello, Augusta."
No fucking way. You were very, very dead.
I was dead. I'm now not.
What did you all do?
What we could. And at that point, he opens fire on you, Augusta.
I feel like he hasn't answered the questions, but okay. Oh, no.
Okay. I just need to look up a thing. No, go away. Okay. You get hit with 4 energy damage, Augusta.
Anywhere in particular or just generalized?
I should roll for that. 5. I think that's torso.
Mm-mm.
Yep, that's the torso. So not an injury, but not great.
Yeah, it's definitely suboptimal.
Yeah, and at that point, we're going to leave that there because I thought this was going to take longer. And I don't think that people are necessarily in the mood to start a combat just yet with less than half an hour to go of the stream. So yeah, we'll pick this up exactly where we left off next time. Thank you very much for watching. Players, if you've got anything to plug away.
I have things, but I'll let everyone else
Marvel
go first.
tomorrow?
Marvel tomorrow. Hopefully, we finally get to do episode 3.
Yeah, that'll be cool. I'm convinced. I'm trying to make it so that Sonya has a sexual encounter with Captain America. I don't think it's going to work. Sarah, that's the one. Sarah, Sonya is the one from your game. Too many S words. Sarah is going to have trying to attempt to have a sexual encounter with Captain America, and it's not going to go well because Mark's not going to like it. But I'm going to do it because, of course, I am. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for playing, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I have to press buttons to do this. Why is it not letting me press buttons?